Welcome 49ers faithful. It's April 9th. The eclipse passed us by and none of us are dead.
But did you die?
I'm Drew Kerr, host of 49ers Sports Talk, and today I'm going to be talking about tight end 2 position, who's going to take over for Charlie Warner in that spot. Yesterday, the 49ers acquired a free agent by the name of Eric Saubert, who's heading into his 8th season as a veteran. He spent time in Atlanta, who he's drafted by in 2017 in the 5th round, just 28 spots after George Kittle in the same draft. After that, he went from Chicago to Jacksonville and spent a couple seasons with Denver, and last season he played with 2 teams, the Cowboys and the Texans. I believe they probably spoke with DeMeco Ryans about this guy, about Eric Saubert, which is why they felt comfortable enough giving him a modest 1-year contract to come in and compete for the main blocking tight end, overall tight end 2 spot. That said, there still remains 2 tight ends that the Niners drafted last season in Cameron Latu and Brayden Willis, both of which were drafted due to their perceived high ceilings. Of both Willis and Latu, I personally think Willis has the upper hand and showed he can play in the league already. In a few snaps he got to play last year with the Niners, he did very well. Latu didn't really get a chance. He got injured before the season even started. So this year I think he'll look to try to rebound. The perception of him in camp was not great. He was dropping balls. He looked lost. But it's a stark contrast to how he looked at Alabama. So I wonder if he will settle in, get comfortable, and start to be the guy that the Niners drafted with a pretty significant draft pick. And so with that, I'm going to leave you guys just with some of their highlights, not too long, a few minutes, and then we'll jump into some of the draft prospects. The draft is still an option for competition at this spot for tight end 2. And the Niners have 10 picks in this draft. And assuming there's no trade backs, trade ups that would either take away from that number or add to it, here are the top options according to Walter Football's tight end positional rankings. The very first tight end is Brock Bowers out of Georgia. Second is Jatavian Sanders out of Texas. Third is Tio Johnson out of Penn State. Fourth, Cade Stover out of Ohio State. Ben Sinnott out of K-State. Jaheim Bell out of Florida State. Brevin Spann-Ford out of Minnesota. And A.J. Barner out of Michigan. Trey Knox out of South Carolina. and Dallin Holker out of Colorado State. And just for some contrast here, and just to kind of give it some balance, here are Draft Tech. Draft Tech is a site that I've gone to for a long time, and here's their top rankings for the top tight ends, top 10 tight ends. Brock Bowers out of Georgia, so that's the same there. Jatavian Sanders, that's the same there. So their top two are the same. But here's where it changes. Cade Stover, they have at 3. Jaheim Bell at 4 out of Florida State. T.O. Johnson out of Penn State. Ben Sinnott out of Kansas State. Jared Wiley out of TCU. Brevin Spanford out of Minnesota. Tip Raymond out of Illinois. And Eric All, who is one of my personal favorites in this draft, out of Iowa. So just wanted to keep it somewhat short today, but I did want to address the signing yesterday. I didn't get a chance to address it yesterday when it happened, when the news broke about Eric Saubert. I do think that he probably is going to have some steep competition. I don't think the Niners are just going to be complacent there, but he has played in the league. He is an 8-year veteran. So there's something to that, but I do think they still have high hopes for Willis and Latu, and potentially another draft pick there, or even undrafted prospect that they might add. And if nothing else, those types of guys might just make the practice squad. In yesterday's mock draft, I did add McCallum Castles out of Tennessee. Very intriguing prospect, so you guys might want to check him out. That's it. The show's over, and I will see you guys next time. Please don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. Thanks. Have a good one.